I'm live. Hello, everybody. I apologize for running late tonight. I was upstairs getting my bag to come down, and Mark said, it's 7:30. And I went, I know, I'm all off kilter. So I apologize very much because first it was trying to get ready for the wedding, which made me all off kilter. Now it's coming home and trying to get back to normal. That's making me all off kilter. And I didn't even know if I was going to be here tonight because at 4 in the morning, my tummy decided it was not well. But I don't know. I seemed fine. So I said, no, I'm going to keep acting like I'm going to be on there and even ate some dinner. But I hope you are well and I hope you're not having tummy problems. I tell you what, I when I was younger I had tummy problems. Now that I'm getting older, I've got tummy problems and that's not fun. So, I'm trying to straighten up real quick because I just came running down and tried to get ready. So, I also forgot to show you I forgot to actually push send, which will send you our group's IO email that says I downloaded tonight's project on in the file section. And if you go on the site and look for new messages, you'll see it and it has a link. So you don't even have to go hunting around. So, okay. Well, let me try to catch up here because I want y'all to have as much time with this as possible. And I'll tell you how I've gotten ready for all of this. And while I'm here, I wanted to show you a birthday present that I got from my daughter Becky. And I've never had one. And I'm kind of surprised. How do you get them out of the tube? Okay, you have to be smarter than the item. Number one. Okay, let me see. I don't want to rip it. I'm trying to get it out of the tube. I don't know how to do it. So I thought, well, I'll stick some scissors in there and pull it, but it doesn't look like it's working. I'm trying. Oh, you know what? Where are my hemostats? Hi, Shelda Quilter. Let me see. I'm trying to find something to get this out with. I don't see my hemostat. I wonder. Must have taken them upstairs for something. Anyway, this is one of those gripping grid glider gripping things. It is giving me a rough time. But it's one of these that you lay on your sewing machine, sew steady grid glider, and it helps when you're doing thread painting and applique work because it helps your fabric just glide over the bed of your machine. And it has a cutout. I'm trying to grab it. I don't even have tweet. Aha, finally. I didn't want to keep using the scissors because I was afraid I was going to cut it. But anyway, so it has a little place for your needle and you peel off the back and it kind of makes it a little bit sticky. I have been wanting one of these for a long time. And I bet you y'all already have one. I bet you do. But I'm going to take it upstairs and put it. But I love that it's got a grid on it. So that way, anytime I can see a measurement to help me know that I'm on the right track, I'm not putting it back in this thing. But you know what this would be good for? Oh, yes, it fits this would be an incredible bobbin holder. So I'm going to repurpose. Maybe I can make a little cloth bag for this. But did I drop something on you, Grummy? I hope not. But anyway, and then it comes with a instruction sheet. But thank you, Becky, for giving this to me. This one is 12 inches by 18, I believe. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, I really like this. Oh, this is not a good smelling vinyl. Normally, I love the smell of vinyl. I'm not sure this is a good one. I'm going to take this upstairs too so I can have a good place to store my bobbins. But I love it when you can get a tube. I've got one down here. And when I go on a retreat or to a class, I fill up a bunch of bobbins and I'm ready to go. Okay. So I told you last time. Let's see who's here first. Oh, my glasses are a mess. But uh, it is so humid and hot out there, and I have flowers I've got to get planted. I'm frustrated, but let's see all who's here. Oh, it's so good to see you. Mary's here, Barbara's here, Marcia's here, Laura's here. Oh, this is so good. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, yeah. Normally, I told Mark, I said, I've read that if you date too long, it's not a good sign. And I think 20 years was a little too long, but it has been wonderful. And as I told y'all first, for the first number of years, I couldn't get married or I would lose some of my benefits. And you know what? You get to it middle aged and the money means a lot. You know, I had to take care of myself for the future. So, but then after that, sometimes, you just kind of go along and then finally it's like, wait. But I'm loving being married. And so it's wonderful. Now, so the other night, oh, I didn't get everybody. I didn't. It's so good to see our Marcia, and thank you, Marcia, for always being here and being our hostess with the mostest. Okay, there's Denise, our lucky Rose. It is so good to see you guys. And also, I wanted to tell you, I saw somebody else. There's Jo Sows. I love seeing her. And Michelle the quilter. I wanted to tell you, Mitty is here. I'm gonna work very hard on starting right on time. I have let myself get it loose ends, and y'all are too important. So I'm gonna work on that. Hello, Anna Ryan. So good to see you. So we have the greatest group, let me tell you. All right. So Mark and I were watching a movie the other night, and it was called The Gunfighter. This is probably Sunday or Monday. And I think it was Sunday. And we were watching a movie called The Gunfighter, and it was with Gregory Peck. And because I don't like violent westerns, but I enjoy westerns very much. And at the end of the movie, he was shot by somebody wanting to make a name because he evidently was a really good gunfighter in his day. But at 35, he finally wanted to settle down with the son he had never met before and with the woman he loved. He was going to finally settle down. Well, somebody decided they wanted to see if they could beat him. And they, of course, they always do it immorally. They don't stand face to face and get you from behind. But I think the world of Gregory Peck, and so I was really sad. And then the closing credits were him riding off in the sunset. And soon as I saw it, I went, oh my gosh, I love that scene. Oh, and I said, Mark, we got to grab my camera and take pictures. I said, because that would make a wonderful quilt. And he thought so too. And so we took a photo of it, and I want to show you on my computer because this is going to be, hi, Jody. This is going to be our um our new art quilt project. Okay, so pardon me, just let me turn this around and move my microphone. Here we go. Now let me get to the picture and show you what I've got because I have been working hard all day. Okay, so I'll show you all the scenes. I had about 4 scenes because we were just snapping pictures, backing it up, and snapping pictures and backing it up. So, because there was a sweet spot of where you could really see. Now let me make this bigger. I love the striations in the sky. I told Mark, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. And then I love it being black and white. But now, if you want to make this quilt, you can do it whatever color combination you want. I was even thinking, if you did it the black and white, you could always go over it with a watercolor wash to just add maybe a very light sunset color. But since the movie was in black and white, and I felt it was so dynamic, but it was sweet and sad at the same time, a little melancholic because of course he was dead, so this was him riding off into the final sunset. But I love the striations in the sky. I love just the silhouette. I'm real nuts about silhouettes. And I just thought it was so dramatic. So now let me show you another one. So we got it from several different directions or at several different parts of the film so that I could kind of pick what part of the sky and what part of his riding. And then here's a close up because we wanted to make sure we got a good picture of the horse and him on the horse. And we could make it any size, but we thought, oh, that would be nice. And then, I found a free program online that I could use an AI, they said, feature to cut this design out of the background, which it did beautifully. So I made several different sizes of the cowboy so that I could decide which size I thought was the best. And you can do the same thing for yours. And then that's the one that I used the horse picture from. But isn't that just beautiful? I love, 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 love that. So I thought, okay, I know we just worked on the dahlia, which was kind of a portrait style picture, but oh, this was so pretty. So now here is I also found online a way to erase the cowboy out of the photo right here and how to pixelize it. So let me show you that edited background. Here it not pixelate it, posterize it. Sorry. And here it is posterized. So let me show you. When you posterize something, see how it breaks it up into 6 or 7 or 8 different shade values. So I did that. So it makes it real easy to then recreate because it's like putting a puzzle together. Okay, now let me see. And I made this with a couple different cowboys, and feel free to make your own size because until you put it on there, you can't really tell. Now, what I was working on today is, come on, is turn oops, I wish I could turn it. Let me see. Nope, nope, nope. I'm not going to take a chance. So here is I took that posterized one and I took an ink pen and I drew on all the lines. That way, when I put it on a light box, I could see it really good. Then I took and printed it out, drew on all the lines, and so that you can make, I would make 3 or 4 copies, or at least 2 or 3, so you can cut the pieces out and turn them into patterns. Now, let me go back. Nope, don't change anything. Then let's see the original. Here is the original page one. So here are the posterized colored sections. See, it kind of looks like topography. And then I took a black ink pen and I drew the lines. And then from that, I made the copy that I did colors. So now I'm going to bring you back, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else you needed to see. I don't think so. I think it's pretty good. Okay, so here we are. So now I'll bring you back. Oh, hello, camera. I really need to get down here and practice doing all of this. I take off 2 weeks and it's like, uh, now what do I do? So I just I need to finish cleaning this room and I need to get all of my equipment settled there. Okay. So I want to show you first is the posterized version. And then after I posterized it, I had to decide how big to make it. And actually, I liked the long, narrow, not very tall. I loved the long, narrow layout. So, uh-oh, it's Mary. Uh-oh. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Please give our best to your Mark and tell him we're so sorry about his father passing. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry, sweetie. Okay, so here is the posterized one. Then I took that one and I turned it into a color value version. And I'll tell you about that in just a moment. Here is my key, which says, and I did a colorized version for each color to make it a little bit easier because some of the pieces are so narrow. So, and then also, this is to show you once you print the pages how you lay them out because they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We send you big hugs, Miss Mary. I'm so sorry about Mark's dad passing. I'm so sorry. We'll be thinking of you, okay, hon? And so now what you see is 6, of course, is the darkest. That's black. 1 becomes the lightest, and that's scattered all through it. Now it's going to have 6 colors. But then when I started laying them out, I realized I really could have used 2 more, but I allowed myself 1 more. So what I did is I put in here 4.5 because it was white, off white, light gray, then it went to medium gray, then charcoal, then black. I wanted to get a medium dark gray. So let me see if my camera is plugged in. Oh, no, it was being unplugged. Okay. Let me. All right. There we go. Don't want the camera turn off or something. So, what I did is then I went and looked at the original and chose all the colors and put them where they needed to be. In some places where it was too narrow to write the color number, I drew a line for that color, just trying to make it. Hi, Barbara Smith. Just trying to make this as easy for you as possible. I would say of this one, I would print out. It's 6 pages, but as you can see, the bottom is just kind of plain. And this, it's going to use a lot of black ink. So think about it. You might just want to do the top 1, 2, 3 pages and forget about the bottom. I had to order another black ink cartridge, but or you can just have this on your computer, bring it up so you can consult it to see if you agree with how I place the colors. There may be 1 or 2 places where the colors, I couldn't quite get the numbers to fit in right. So it could maybe have a place that doesn't exactly have a color, or if it's the other one of the other colors. Sorry. It's a free pattern. Okay. What can I say? This was hard. This took me hours and hours to do, but I wanted to do it so that if it would make it easier for you, do it. Now, there's one thing I haven't done, and I would do this on the first copy. And where you're going to have the fabric hang over, like piece number 1, actually that goes on top and this goes on top. There are going to be places where, Jody, I'm going to need your help for this one, darling. But there's going to be places where I'm trying to remember now. I think, I think 5, I think right above, I think this 5 right above the 6, you're going to want it to hang over a little bit. I just got confused. But Jody maybe can remind us which one overlaps what. And then what you're going to do is mark that. Like I forget, I think the dark goes on top of the light. I think the dark goes on top of the light. So if 1 is the light, bright white, then 2 is going to hang over a little bit. Then the darker 3 is going to hang over a little bit on this one. So what you need to draw is, oh, here we go. To save on ink, I've copied the pic into Microsoft Paint, erased and cut the majority of black out before printing. Oh, do you have this somewhere that if anybody else wanted to try it? But that's what I was thinking. I told Mark, I said, Jody, you want to do this on both sites so you can fill in all the things I miss and I can learn from you too. But that's right. The white, darker colors always go on top of the lighter colors, because if you put the darker color under the lighter color, it would show. So, so some of these you'll have to draw, have a little seam allowance, like the light number 1. The seam allowance will go up under both sides. So that way you don't have too many empty spaces. So, but now I've got a color coded copy. And what I recommend, you can probably take and you have to keep one total copy has to be kept as your master. You must do this or else you'll forget what you're doing. And then I would have 2 copies to do the cutting from. And you can do this. When I say copies, if you want to use Steam Machine 2, when you go to print out page 1, print it onto a sheet of Steam Machine. That way, you don't have to take the light box and do another whole tracing drawing. So what I would do is print page one on the steam machine. So I just cut it out. It's ready to go. And then let's say, well, how do you have the extra seam allowance for the lighter colors to go under the dark? You can put little tiny arrow on that part of the steam machine to remind you that when you go to put it on fabric, cut that little bit of extra fabric. So this is what I did for my dahlia, and I love my dahlia quilt. So the steam machine too is great. Otherwise, take your light box and draw it on the paper side of your fusible, and you're ready to go. Now, another thing, you've got to figure out if you need to reverse print, because to do steam machine, if you print it the correct direction, how do you put it on the bottom of the fabric? Because it needs to be reversed. So when you go to put it on the bottom of the fabric, then the top of the fabric comes out correct. So just do a little bit of thinking, write down a few notes for yourself so you'll remember it. You could make two piece, then lay 3, 4, 5, and 6 on it. Then fuse the one big piece to fuse the number one fabric. Okay, I see it. Because what I tried with the dahlia to write what section, and I still got confused. So then I happened to, I forget, watch somebody who said they do one page at a time, one section at a time. And I'm thinking, the way that my brain is so befuddled, I'm going to do one page, one section. It'd be nice to do all of a certain color and all, but you know what? I want to enjoy it, and I have found I was so overwhelmed when I first tried doing this. Jody is so good at it. She makes it look easy. For me, it was very hard. It was like math. And but trying to find the way that works with this brain, and you know how easily I'm distracted, right? So to try to find a way to work with me, I'm going to just do one section, do those colors, and and that way I can do it and enjoy it. I'm going to sit upstairs at, I have this coffee table that raises up, and I can binge watch something on TV, and I can just sit and cut my little pieces and out of my steam machine too, and my fabrics. And since you only need 7 fabrics, it's pretty easy. Now, if you want to, you can use 7 shades, or you can use 7 fabrics. For me, I'm probably going to use 7 fabrics. So now, what I was doing that made me late on here, I was upstairs making my foundation for the quilt. And all of a sudden, I looked at the clock and it said 7:25. I love sewing and I get lost. So let me, whoops, got to turn back on my iron. I'll let it cool off again. But let me bring you over here and show you what I'm doing. Thank you so much, our Jody. Don't forget to watch Jody's Quilt Squirrel channel. Everybody is loving it. And oh my gosh, Jody is so um, creative and productive. I don't know if she's found what I found, which is that having a channel really keeps you on your toes. And it's wonderful. And I always think, you know what? If I ever quit this channel, would I just sit and look at the computer, or would I actually get something done? Now, this is a piece of interfacing that I had used for something, I don't know what. And my muslin, I got some of my bigger pieces of muslin and sewed it together. And guess what? That's a perfect thing to do. It's a wonderful way of using up scraps. And this is the perfect project to do it on. Your foundation and your this interfacing will not be seen. And so use up some of those scraps that have built up in your stash. And you know me, now I am all about using things up. So, okay. Oh, and I just wanted to show you here I had four cowboys that I cut out. And this is blue because I was running out of black ink. But the medium one, which is this one, is the one I think I'm going to go with. And but don't worry, on our site in the file section, I have some cowboys that you can play around with sizing. I have all the pattern for both the original with all of the color marks on it, and I also have the color coded pattern. So I've tried my best to make it as easy as possible for you and for me too, honestly, because I'm still learning this. But boy, I tell you, when there is something that this technique will work with, it is amazing. And I told y'all that I finished the baby quilt for my grandsons. I finished and gave them to them, and they were so, so happy. So that made me feel more confident. So here is my muslin pieced together larger bits, and I made sure to make it a couple inches bigger than the pattern because you do not want to have to worry about being too short. You know, when you do an art quilt, leave yourself extra space. That way, you're going to have more fun with making it. Let me get something. I've got something on my screen that's bugging me. There we go. So now, let me show you. Okay. This is easier for you to spot, but let me get that up there. All right. So here, see how it's a couple inches bigger all the way around. And let me tell you too, muslin is inexpensive. You can get it from Fabric Wholesale. You can get it on sale at Joann's. And I just keep it around. You can use it to make patterns, templates, all of that. But I use it for all of the foundations for my art quilting. So this is the one that's been posterized. Okay. And then here is the one that's easier to draw on. So my next step would be I don't like working on a light box. So what I'm going to do, but remember, you must keep one of these as your go-to. I'm trying to think of the word but you have to. One is your template. It's critical for you to have one because if you cut that one up, then you're going to be a little. You'll be a little lost. Although you can go to the site and download another one. But okay, so what I'm probably going to do is put it under there. And then I'm going to use probably a pencil. Now, you don't have to be crazy um crazy attentive. You really don't have to. But I would do enough of these shapes that you really know. And if you want, put the little number on it because a lot of times having the number, whoops, I told Mark, I tell you what, seeing Jody's, I've got light box envy of Miss Jody. Oh my gosh, her light box is amazing. But now for y'all, since you're at home and you're not right here, let me see if I can bring this down and zoom in. Okay. Whoops. Come on, silly. All right. Here we go. Now, since y'all are at home, you're not here with me. I did pencil and it shows for me. And I like pencil because it doesn't get in the way, but you might want to find a marker and just sit and watch TV, whatever, and draw the shape on your muslin. Now, sometimes I think Miss Jody does it on a parchment paper or golden threads. Let me show you my golden threads. I love my golden threads. And I need to remember to take up. Where's my golden threads? Oh, poo. I don't have it in here. I must have taken it upstairs when I did the dahlia. But Jody, I think, uses a golden threads or a parchment paper and draws or prints out. Actually, you know what? You could just print it if you can secure the paper and make yourself a master that you could lay and come back up with. But I think I'm going to do it this way because I do things that comfort me. And when this intimidates me, if I have it done in such a way that it comforts me, that's a good thing. Today, when I drew the second color coded pattern, I made sure to pin the papers together so they would not move and I would end up getting confused. And that's when it's best to use flat pins. And I have a bunch of these cute little flat pins. They make it very easy to pen papers with. You could also staple it. But the next step for me will be to come in here and draw all of the lines and probably put right the little, because it's pretty easy to come in here and go, okay, this is 5. You see, and whoops, where am I? I'm not even on. Here we go, right here. It's real easy to take this fine tip marker and draw 5 on. And that's just extra little ways for me. But now, if I don't know if Jody's going to be teaching something like this on her site, but she can show you her entire way because there are always multiple. And Jody, I'm sorry if you don't want to do this on your site and I'm putting pressure on you. I apologize. I don't mean to do that. I just I just love learning from you. And but anyway, but there are different ways to do this. There's no one right way, even for paper piecing. Everybody has their own little ways and it will work. But I was going to show you some of my gray fabrics that black and actually you're going to be going from pure white to the blackest black. So I've got the blackest black. Then I also found some like this. I'm not sure. They might be still too dark, but I know I wanted absolute black for along the bottom. I'm not sure I want this much pattern, but I'm going to make sure to find a definitive light. First, I want an off-white. Then I want like a grunge or a cream, an off-white. I've got my pure white. Then I'm going to do a light gray. And a light gray for me would be maybe like the back of this. Okay. But I'm worried this, I grabbed it because it was gray, but I haven't picked out my 7 colors yet. I just grabbed some. But I'll tell you one That's a winner in my book. I wish I had more of it. And this is the black and white ombre. Look at this. If I had more, it goes from pure white out, out, out. You could take this one fabric and do your entire quilt. So, but I'll see how much I've got of what. But ombres, oh my, let me tell you, I wish when they were so popular, I wish I had bought more because one fabric can do so much. So these I'll probably put away, but but at least I know I've got the black. This is going to be for my cowboy. This is going to be for the very bottom. And there's a few places where the darkest, the number 6, is marked. So I'm going to use this. So I think I'm pretty much, by talking it over with y'all, I've decided to use 7 fabrics, just 7. You can use more, but I think I might keep it simple, especially since it's black and white. And that way it's very uniform. But I hope that you're happy to do this. Now, if it's not your cup of tea right now, don't worry, because you can do it later if you feel like it. I just like working on these techniques. It helps. It helps me work on the techniques, and hopefully, if you haven't tried something, it'll give you the courage to try it. So, you know what? I lost the chat. How do I get the chat back? I hate when that happens. I don't know what I did. Oh, poo. And at one point, let me see. At one point, I accidentally stumbled on how to bring chat back. Now I don't know. This is frustrating. So I can't even see you. I can't answer questions. How frustrating is that? Let me see. Now, I don't know. I hope you're there. I can't even tell. How did I do that? I do this kind of stuff all the time. When I'm trying to change a channel, I end up, exiting out of one streaming program. And I hate this because I can't see you. Let me see. If I click on this, will it bring new? Let me see. Oh, down here. Let me see. No. Hmm. No. Oh, well. Well, I've lost you. I don't know how to find you. So, let me look up here. Was maybe this was. No. Oh, poo. That's very frustrating. Well, it's about time to go anyway. So, if you like this, give me a thumbs up because I can always use that. I was watching somebody and they said doing the thumbs up lets YouTube know to put your title of your channel out there more often. So if you don't mind, that would be wonderful. And if you subscribe, then you always will know right where and when I'll be on. So I'm hoping that this interests you. I'm very excited about it. It is kind of a nice homage to the Westerns that we've always loved. So, that's a uniquely American thing, and it's kind of nice. So, next week, I'll have the black down to the bottom. I might work from the top down, and I'll just see how I feel. And see, that's how I make my decisions. How do I feel at that point? But unless Jody, I'll check back and read the chat, because Jody might say, "Well, try this." She's so good with me. She's so patient, and I appreciate it. But don't let me put pressure on you, Jody, where that you might not want. So, because she's got her own ideas for her channel and she's doing beautifully with it. So, whatever works for her, that's good. All right. So, hopefully by next week, I will have some progress made. I would say that with it shouldn't take too long, but some of those tiny little areas, oh my goodness. And I was already thinking, how will I thread sketch? How will I quilt it? I will definitely want to thread sketch. And what I'm kind of going to do is I will follow the shape of the clouds in the sky. And I think that overall, that'll give us a soft sense of movement. And so that's my plan. And quilting, I might do some outline, some simple quilting, but I love doing some thread sketching. And so that's my plan. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Welcome back to our Art Quilt Thursday. I took a couple weeks off, but now I'm ready to create. So I hope you stay cool if it's hot and steamy where you are. And if I could just get a cool day, I want to get the rest of my plants in the ground or in the pots, because mostly I do container gardening now. With my arthritis, it's much easier to plant in a pot than it is the hard ground. So I hope you have a good couple of days. I'll be back Sunday afternoon, my normal time, where we're going to work on our color wash quilt. I'm doing some research on them. And like anything I've told you, there's so many ways to do it, all of it, that I'm kind of writing something I'll put on our site that you can have and just give you an overview of what I found while I've been researching it. So we'll do that Sunday. We'll also pick our next UFO, which I haven't finished any of my, oh, I guess I did finish the boys quilt. Yay, I finished one. So we'll draw our next number Sunday, and have a good next couple days and a great Saturday. And hopefully I'll see you Sunday afternoon. So thank you very much for spending this time with me. Mary, drive safely. You and Mark, drive safely. We'll be thinking of you this hard time. And everyone else, you are the best. You make my heart so happy. So take good care of you. Oh, and we put my hammock is back in my sunroom. So I'll have some pictures of that for you. And I'm going to keep my books right near it. And anytime I just need a break, I'm going to climb in the hammock and read books. So take good care of yourself. I hope you can find something fun like that to do just for you. All right. Bye-bye, everyone. Mwah. Take good care of yourself. See you soon. Bye-bye.